أهلا ومرحبا بكم كيف حالكم? Hi, this is Corinne Sutter, and Mohammed, who maintains this website, has asked me to answer some questions. So let's start. Yeah, I can introduce myself. As I told you, my name is Corinne Sutter, and some of you might know me from the Switzerland's Got Talent show where I've painted a picture, and I've kind of pretended to draw one of the judges, but then afterwards I've painted the other one upside down. I've been working as a freelancer artist for 13 years now, and I mainly did caricatures, but I've always done some other art projects aside. And now, after the kind of hype that my video's gotten, like it's reached over 150 million views worldwide, now I've started to more and more concentrate on my own artistic projects. Like right now I'm at the Roma art collection, and we are doing a crazy video. My talent, I don't think that my talent started, it's more like I've always had the urge and the passion to do something, and it started very early, actually not with drawing, rather with the violin. So I've been 4 years old, I remember, and I had the feeling to play violin so badly, so I have talked about it to my parents, and they were not even sure if I knew what a violin was, so they took me to show me a violin, and I was like, yeah, of course that's a violin. And then I finally could take some lessons. And actually I've been quite disappointed after the first lesson, because I thought I can take the violin on my shoulder and directly play some nice music. And I've seen that, first you have to learn everything and how to put everything together. I've seen you have to train a lot also to be able to just play any tune. And I've also learned about myself and found out I'm not the person who trains every day like 1 hour, not even daily. So I've seen it when I had a concert. I was quite busy the days before, because then it was very concrete for me, and that's also why I still try to find settings which kind of help me develop what I do. But I have to say I admire a lot those people who just do their arts or their hobbies, whatever it is, for themselves. I really admire those people, because I think that's probably the most honest way to do it. And if it's gonna be seen by others, it doesn't really matter. But for me, I'm one of those people, I kind of need the audience to keep going. Well, there was an end of the allowed time. I didn't really handle rejection that well, because I had to cry, so I kind of lost control over my feelings. But that was just me, not more, not less. And I think that's the best you can do, always. Just be yourself. Either people love you or not, and if there is just two honest people who like you the way you are, it's better than to have 2,000 which actually love the role that you play. And about handling the moment, it was not that easy, I have to say. I really cried from the bottom of my heart, but I had a drink with my friends afterwards, and they told me it was cool and great, and I was a bit confused, like what was cool about that? What was great? What was even anything positive about my like boring act and full of tears? But then I came over it quite fast, actually. There was not really a time between rejection and continuing, because there was rather a lack of time, actually. I was so much under pressure, under time pressure, and the lack of time was, I was very aware of that, like with the red light, so I was more somehow, like in a movie, I was not even really there. I mean, it was like, okay, just finish, just do the most important lines, and that's it. And I also didn't believe in my talent so much. It was more like I had to finish the painting, because if I wouldn't finish, everybody would ask me for the rest of my life, or maybe for a long time. And like, what did you want to do on stage? Why did you choose to paint black on black? And I knew then everything is lost. I mean, I would be so annoyed to always have to answer and kind of tell people what was my aim and why did I choose that. And yeah, I actually wanted to do really a cool surprise in the end. And so I would have lost anyways if I would have stopped. So why not just to finish? Then at least I would know if people like it, or at least they can see what I tried to do, just in a way shorter time. But it was worth it, you see. You always have to finish things, because otherwise you will never know. And it's so easy to start things. I think it's like a problem many people, many creative people especially have, like to always start something but to never finish it, because then you start like to think, yeah, is it good? You start doubting, but just finish it and then you will see. And then you have a good feeling afterwards, because yeah, you ended it. Well, who cares about society? I mean, who is society? Who? Is it like the whole world? Is it like some people you meet wherever. Is it your family? Is it your friends? I think it's more like a society is like a building. It's something inside us. We think what society thinks about us, and we use that to criticize ourselves, or we use it to kind of feel small. But it's like a weird tool many have. It's always this talk about what society might think about whatever we do, but actually it doesn't count, because we are always having one good friend, and this is ourselves, and the rest is like, I mean, there is some 2-3 friends, they will be with us and support us, but maybe even more, maybe less. It's depending on each person, but I think it's enough if you have some family members and some good friends who actually also criticize you, but in a good, constructive way. And about the rest, just forget it, because I mean, some people, they will always try to keep you from growing, because when you grow, when you become better, and when they kind of give you constructive criticism and they help you to develop, then they might feel smaller next to you. So that's also why some like friends, they don't really want you to get there, to be that satisfied with the art you do or the hobby you have. So it's a lot about jealousy also, or about other people feeling small next to you. But I'm very sure if you just do what you feel like with lots of passion, and you go the whole way through it with also sometimes the negative feeling, like this some despair or some issues you're not sure and you're not convinced for certain times. So I'm very sure that people see that, and the good friends will be happy for you if you continue. So just don't care and do it for yourself, because that's what life is for. As long as you don't harm anybody else with doing what you do, not harming nature, animals, or other humans, and not yourself. So just keep going. Well, I think there's 2 different definitions. Oh, look, there's the train. It's cute. Okay, there's 2 different definitions of success. The one definition is like what society thinks is success, like maybe to get lots of followers or lots of money, or to be very beautiful and to, I don't know, have a lovely house. Like, this is the typical things that society might think it's a success. But then there is the relative definition of success. So for me, success is rather to be happy in what I do, and to find the balance between like some privacy, some private time with my kids, with my husband, to play in the garden, but still having the feeling of being on my way, like that I develop what is my talents, and to try to find ways to also do it professionally, like to combine it, but to still keep the feeling that I do it for passion. And this is success for me. And all the rest, I think it doesn't count. We shouldn't be blind because of the definition of success which is coming from society. Imagine a Swiss mountain, and the highest point, the summit, is often confused with the point where you have the most beautiful view, and where it must feel the best, and which should be the aim of everybody. But if you think of that, I mean, the air is very thin up there. If you walk on, you can only go down hills, and I think so many people want to go there, so you're not even that appreciated that you are the one to be up there. So I think everybody has also to find out where you feel comfortable. Maybe it's just rather to be on the way around the mountain, and to at a certain point just kind of just go on. But it doesn't always have to be like higher, like especially in art you rather want to go deeper in everything. So I think this is very important, that people become aware that it's not like this American dream thing that everybody has to go to the summit and to reach this certain point. I think it's more about the way and the progress we always have, and it's great to know what you can develop in your life wherever you are. It's just these little steps that makes us feel successful, because we develop something. Sometimes it's just maybe arranging your office and change the whole thing inside it. I mean, it's not like sounding like successful thing for society, but maybe you have after the greatest evening and you say, oh, I could arrange finally everything, and now I find my stuff again. And I think this is success, these little steps. It's not that spectacular, it's just for yourself and for your little life. This is the real success. I think we only have one life. It's my belief. So I sometimes use another picture to, which is a game. I think I'm just a figure on a game, and then sometimes I feel like playing, so I use my figure, I put it on some playground, and then I try to go as far as possible. Maybe it works, maybe not. If it doesn't work, I just stop it or make a break and go on if I feel like, if I think it's fun, and otherwise I just take my figure to another playground and go on there. But I think it's worth to kind of play hard and then have a fun life. I mean, you can also just sit around and be like a couch potato all the time. It's okay. You don't harm anybody doing that, and maybe you have a very like happy life. But I think it's not that inspired life. It's maybe more interesting if you kind of, instead of watching TV, rather do something on your own and create your own movie and your own story. And it's mostly like a spiral. Once you start it, it's like it's getting bigger and bigger, and like you have just a more moved life. And you get to know people which are the same, and then you can inspire yourself, one the other. And I think it's really worth sometimes just putting yourself on some playground and trying out something. These things, what I say, is not like for everybody. I mean, these people with the pressure inside, the people which are unsatisfied if they don't continue with something, those people need to find tools. And so therefore I think it's really worth thinking hard, maybe making a list of the dreams which sound interesting, and then just try to start one after the other and not to give up. Like in average, I've heard you need to try something 12 times. So it's really good to continue after the first time you fail, because you will fail maybe 11 times. And we talk about an average. Somebody might succeed in the first time, and you might be the one who has to try 24 times or even more. So I think if you don't even try, you will fail anyway. So it's better to try, and then you will see. And if you fail, I mean, you have learned something from that. So it's always worth trying, it's worth working, and maybe analyze what you did and analyze what you could do better next. So I always have my crazy list with me. I have like a huge book, and then when it's full, I take the next one, and I always write down my thoughts and my aims and my dreams, and it really helps. Often I write something down, and like some weeks later, I have a situation and I see now it's the time. But if I wouldn't have these visions, I'm quite sure nothing would happen. It doesn't matter if you write them down or not, it's just good to have visions and dreams. Because I think that's the most interesting way and most fulfilling way to live life. If you want to see more about my projects, just go on my Facebook site, which is called Die Karikaturisten, and you will find my page also if you just enter Corinne Sutter. So, hoppla.